Okay, so a reality show that I'm reviewing. That's got to mean something, right? Let's talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's TV review of the Freevee reality show Jury Duty. This, of course, is created by Lee Eisenberg and Gene Stupinski. Okay, so this series, which of course is Jury Duty, is a series that premiered on Freevee. The first 4 episodes are now available. I did get a chance to see all 8 episodes. I will not talk about the last episode until it premieres because I want to talk about it in its own right. But it's pretty unprecedented for me personally to talk about a reality show because I'm not a big fan of reality shows, to be fairly honest. But this reality show is interesting. It's a series which is about a jury, a group of individuals that go in and decide someone's fate, whether it be, money situation or jail time or the death penalty or something like that. And what this series does is it takes the reality series format and connects it with The Office in a lot of respects, because Lee Eisenberg and Gene Stupinski worked on The Office, so there are points where people in this series are being interviewed and they talk and so on and so forth to keep the story along. But what makes this series so interesting is everyone in this series, except for one person, is an actor that is playing somebody in the jury, and then there's another person named James Marsden, who is playing James Marsden, a much more cynical, kind of douchebaggy version of himself. And so this series brings in a gentleman named Ronald Gladen, who is an individual that thinks he's coming in for a documentary, when in a sense he's part of a reality show that he knows nothing about. So for 8 episodes, this series basically plays out like they're on jury duty. They have to stay in a hotel room. They have to go through the process of the witnesses and the statements and everything that you can imagine that a jury would have to go through. But imagine if you added in scenarios that could go out of whack, scenarios that are too good to be true, and how do you coax someone into being something that they're not, as well as going along with something that could completely collapse upon itself throughout the entire 8 episodes. So you never know where the series is going to go because the series is on the fly. They don't know where the series is going to go, and you kind of have to roll with the punches. And basically is a series about an individual who's not in on the joke and how does he respond to the things that are being put in front of him. And on top of that, it kind of shows you how the jury system works and how somebody can sway, so on and so forth. So that's kind of synopsis. It's a little bit long a synopsis, but that's kind of where this series is. So I have to be honest, like I just said, I'm not a reality show watcher. I just don't care about that kind of stuff. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't find it good. I don't find it interesting. But this was recommended through a podcast, the Filmcast. It was a pretty popular podcast. But they recommended it because they said it's very, very funny. It's kind of like in The Office style. I love The Office. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to give the first episode a shot. It is a reality show, but it sounds just unique enough that it could like pull me in. And so I watched this. And this is where my honest review comes into the mix. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to talk about the 8th episode until I think it's 8 episodes. I'm not going to get to the last episode till it premieres, so I can talk about like kind of how the series ends. But I'm doing a review of this series, so I obviously have thoughts about it, and that's where this review, as its point, is coming into the fact. So after watching the first episode, I was immediately hooked on this series, and what ended up happening is something that doesn't happen very often. I watched the whole entire series in one go. I don't do that. I never do that unless it's something that like, Ted Lasso or something that premiered a while ago, like The Office. I like barreled through it because I got hooked to it. This is a pretty brilliant series, to be fairly honest. It's a very simple concept, very complex ideas. It's a reality show, which once again, I'm not a reality show fan, but this series is funny. It's emotional. It's well done and well paced. It has people who are actors who have to work on the fly and do it like smartly and like insanely well done. Like there are points where you can tell the actors are breaking up in laughter with some of the things that are going on in this show, but they are able to keep their composure. They have to do this for 3 weeks, which is hard enough to even do it for one day. I mean, think about if you watch like a Broadway musical or something like that, they have to do that for 3 hours. Think if you have to, for the most part, be on stage for 3 weeks outside of sleeping and some of the rehearsal stuff that they talk about in this, and you're doing it against a person that has no idea what's going on. That's incredible work, to be fairly honest. I don't know any of these actors. Some of these actors have done stuff. James Marsden, of course, is very, very famous. I don't know any of these people in this show, and that's what makes this show work so well, is because these people are unknowns. They're being brought in. Some of them are actually actors. Some of them are like lawyers or retired lawyers, which the judge plays. And it's a very effective, very smartly done show with some of the most gut busting laughter I've ever seen in a show in quite a while. This is office level humor, but told in a reality show way. And I really, really love that. I really love the idea of just everything that plays out. I love the fact that these people are in on the joke, and they do it very well. And I think when I'll talk about it, but I think this show, or this, I don't know if it's gonna be a first season of a ongoing series, but if this is only a season, the way this series ends actually ends smartly and does a really nice job of not feeling deflating, feeling messed up, not feeling just like it took advantage of this character of Ronald, this individual named Ronald Gladden. And I think it works. It really does. Like I said, it's perfectly presented. Like I could watch hours upon hours of just deleted footage of this series, because it's just, these characters people are engaging, they're interesting. It's like watching the Truman Show in a lot of respects, where Truman is he's integral to the series, and he's the popular series, but you have to have the people around him, whether it be the bailiff or the different jurors or the people in the crowd, the plaintiff, the defendant. These people have to be effective, and they are so effective. The personalities are there. These people are actors, so they are shaping the way their character performs, and like I said, they have to do it on the fly, but it's just so well done and so smartly done. It's an amazingly done series. I hope it gets an Emmy nomination for like best reality series or something like that, because it does things so well. And there are moments in this series where it feels so authentic. It feels so real. It's like there are points where like they're doing the Office style or doing Parks and Rec, where they're like the person, the Ronald character is not even in the scene, and they're like talking about certain things. They're actually making the story like more composed, more authentic, more fleshed out, and it's so brilliant. It really is. I couldn't believe how just enthralled I was by a reality show. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes there's something that's just completely original. It's the fact that this is on Freevee. It's unfortunate because a lot of people won't watch these because they have commercials, and it kind of the way the streaming service is now, it's unfortunate because these shows won't be watched for that simple reason. But that's where you find such like diamonds in the rough, such gold mine shows that it's pretty impressive. It really is. I love everything about this series. I really do. I know I've been talking about it, how much I love it, but every character has their moment to shine. There is too many moments. I would have to spend hours upon hours just talking about the different little pieces of moments, whether it be at Margaritaville, whether it be like James Marsden trying to get an acting gig, whether it be characters losing a lot of money, whether a character having a chair built out of the crutches and stuff like that. It's just, these types of things are what makes the show work so well. But I think the fact that they made it sound like a documentary, that they made it a jury situation, that they put him in the forefront, Ronald into the forefront as the foreperson, I think that's what helps sell what Ronald is doing in this show as the mark in a lot of respects. I think it helps the kind of tune the show into allowing them to go on the fly, but also allowing him to kind of progress and grow, allowing him to kind of bleed into these characters, allowing the actors and actresses to kind of bleed into him, to kind of focus on him. Yes, they'll break character sometimes, but like I said, when they're able to kind of connect and the ball rolls and kind of gels together and creates this like Katamari Damacy situation where everything rolls and connects and starts like grinding into one another, it really does work. And like I said, everybody's fantastic, funny, and enjoyable, and there's so many good moments. Like I said, it's a pretty impressive that James Marsden signed on, but I think he knew what he was getting himself into. I think he knew who was the creators, and he just wanted to be on board with it, and it just works. Having James Marsden really helps, but these actors and actresses and Ronald are really good. Especially having Ronald be like a true life individual really helps the series too. So with that said, that's going to kind of where I'm going to stand on this series, which is a reality show called Jury Duty on Freevee. Definitely worth a watch. It is 8 episodes. Definitely highly recommend. So check it out. Like I said, I will do a spoiler discussion on the last episode, just talking about the overarching ending to what happens in this series, and I think it's worth the end. So there you go. With that said, that'll do it. That'll be my take on Jury Duty. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen this series or you're watching this series, let me know what you think overall. Are you liking it? Are you going to stay with it? If you've seen it, what do you think overall? Don't spoil it if you've seen the whole thing, like I'm trying not to do, but definitely check it out if you're interested. So with that said, Thank you so much. If you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.